What is up, everybody? Subalias here with another little quick tutorial on some sound design that is focusing around a stab bass. Typically, you kind of hear this sort of bass in deep house or techno, things like that. Specifically, it's sort of used in a bit of a kind of like house techno sort of fusion context here. But let me give you an idea of what it's going to sound like, and then we'll go through the process of making the sound from scratch. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. You get the gist. So let us jump in. I have two instrument tracks over here ready to go with the same MIDI data as the original track. So what we're going to start out with is an instance of operator on this track. Now this is going to be our low tracks. You got bass low and bass high, so we're going to start with the lows. Okay, so oscillator A, we're going to turn that up just a little bit to -7 dB, and we're going to take oscillator B and turn that up to -10 dB. Now you'll notice that all these MIDI notes are very short, so like if I play this, it's not going to sound very interesting at all. Yeah, totally useless. So what we have to do is we're going to go into oscillator A. I'm going to bring the sustain all the way down. I'm going to make the decay 1400 milliseconds here, and the release 1000 milliseconds. And then I'm going to do the same thing up here, just a little bit shorter. So the release is just going to be 600 milliseconds. Decay, we're going to keep it 600, bring the sustain all the way down, and this is our result. So we're getting pretty close. We got like a little bit of a stab going, but in order to give it that aggressive, sort of abrasive sound that we hear on the transient of the original sound, we're going to turn the coarse frequency multiplier of oscillator B up to 4, and that is actually going to give us a pretty close result here. There we go. Guess what? That's our low layer. Not quite though. All we have to do is grab an EQ, and we're going to make a nice soft low pass. Just to take out the majority of those higher harmonics. Okay, so simple as this for the high layer. We're going to take the instrument rack, we're going to copy it with Control-C or Command-C if you are on Mac. And we're going to go over here to the second track and paste that in. The first thing we're going to do is, let's just go ahead and, we're going to listen to it. Right? It's basically the same exact sound. So, except here we're going to transpose it up an entire octave. So let's hear what that sounds like. All right, excellent. So then we're going to take an EQ8 and put that on that track. And we're going to go to the first band and change that to a nice soft high pass here. I'm going to put a little cut here. And that is our high layer. So let's listen to both together. Awesome. So the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to take a reverb and a ping pong delay, and we're going to place both of those on the high layer. Now, as for the reverb, I'm going to turn the size down a little bit. I'm going to turn the decay way down. We're going to go down to something like 300 milliseconds. Let me give you an idea of sort of what effect that has on the sound itself. This doesn't sound so dry. It gives a little bit of a sense of space, kind of opens it up a little bit. That reminds me, actually. So we actually need to go, if we go into operator, there's one more thing we do specifically with the sound itself. And in operator, we're going to turn up the spread parameter to about 50%. So that is going to take what was a mono signal and spread it out to our left and right channels to make it sound a little bit wider. Excellent. So then we're going to turn on this ping pong delay. We're going to keep it as a dotted eighth note. I'm going to move up the filter a little bit and bring the feedback down to about 20%, the dry wet down to 20%, and let's hear what that sounds like. Excellent. So let's go ahead and bring in the low layer, and this is our final result. Don't forget to like and subscribe down at the bottom. I'll have some links down there in the description to some original music as well, so please feel free to check that out. I'm going to be trying to keep up with making the tutorials pretty regularly now, so if you had any questions about this one, or if you were curious about anything that you would like to know, please let me know and I can incorporate that into any future tutorials. But thank you for listening to this one, and I'll be seeing you guys soon.